What I think is great about the show is like this guy just said, "Bring me bottled water," and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna take all these different bottles and mix them together." It's like, so wait, then my water's not bottled anymore. What are you doing?
If you go over to dtmerch.com, you will see all of the great items we have over there. My favorite is the black cotton tee with the white logo. We have the colored logo there. We got the jerseys. We got the backpacks, beanies, hats, phone covers, Deja Doodles. Deja, that is D-A-I-S-A. That's like Asia with a D. And she is our featured artist for April. Go to her Instagram page. You can find her under Deja Doodles there, Deja Leonard. You will see all of the great caricatures, illustrations, and other pieces of art that she does. Become a subscriber and do that. And there are many ways to do it, and they're all good. But I mean, one of my favorite ways is to use your Amazon account, use our Amazon Pay button, combine those things, put your username and your password in there, press send. Ooh, my God, what is happening right now?
Hey, we in the splash zone. You got to worry about that.
Ooh, you got a little on your chin there.
No, that's why I shave.
Yeah, oh, is that what it is? Had that beard crusty from all that toasted goodness coming your way. First and foremost, if you have not seen Atlanta, please watch this show. I don't care if you're into hip hop or not. I don't care if you don't like Donald Glover. This will be the one where you need to give him a chance. This show, to me, is unlike anything that I've seen on television to date.
Hey man, you gotta get up. What up? You staying?
Damn, is you the landlord or something?
Now y'all thinking, oh, it's some black shit. It is, but it's black shit like you've never seen before. This is artistic enough for all the hipster artists out there to watch this. And if the show, because what you're looking at right now, a show about hip hop, especially Atlanta trap hip hop. Donald Glover, he goes to his cousin Paperboy that you saw there in the trailer, and what did he plays?
Ernest Marks.
Ern, yeah, and he plays. He's a Paperboy's cousin, and he wants to go in and be his manager, and he does become his manager. Not very good at it though, and this is about their struggle, just out there trying to get some money, but yet. It's so much more. It is not a show about Atlanta hip hop. It is not just a show about black culture. This is one of the most surreal shows that I've seen on television for any cultural experience.
Yeah, it's like I told you, like it's a hood ass Twin Peaks because there's some wild stuff that happens in here.
This can be said to be sort of a black Twin Peaks, and I thought that was an amazing way of summing it up. Corey Goodwin. The thing with this, though, is that y'all know David Lynch, and you've probably seen Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks is such a weird show, but it will start out with a story.
Yeah.
It'll start out with a mystery, and you wait for this mystery to get solved, and you sitting back like, I'm okay with this, that's cool, and you got me hooked. And then somewhere in the middle of the show, the dancing midget will come out, he'll start talking backwards, and you'll be like, okay, what the fuck is this? And that mystery will never get solved, but that midget will just keep on dancing.
Yeah, and it's so surreal. You're like, oh, it can't be that wild. Yo, this is last season. Somebody got hit with an invisible car.
You're not lying. You're like, what? I'm telling you, man, this is it is probably one of the weirdest shows on television, but unlike Twin Peaks, it's relatable. Where that midget starts dancing, you don't know what the hell is happening. Twin Peaks will do that to you, will confuse you, will make you wonder what's going on. Atlanta will not. Atlanta is very relatable.
Yeah.
This is a show that is so surreal sometimes that it can be any genre. And if people have seen this, what we're talking about is Atlanta Season 2, Episode 6. And Episode 6 is titled Teddy Perkins. And this is the one where this went into a straight out horror mini movie.
Yes.
It was like the best parts of Tusk.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And it had its own feeling of Get Out going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was weird that it was starring the same guy, one of the same guys that was in Get Out.
Yeah, because when I watched this, we have one of the people in the show that we love. What's his name?
Lakeith Stanfield.
Yeah, he's amazing. What is he, Darius?
Darius, yeah.
And he's kind of he is kind of the hipster hood guy in the show. He's weird. He's
a stoner.
He's eccentric. He's a stoner. He talks a lot of deep shit, and that is why when you look at him in the show, normally when you see people do dumb stuff in horror movies, you say that's Darius, man. But when you watch this, I was watching this and thinking, okay, so this is the first time that they've done a horror-themed episode.
Yeah, kind of.
Well, they've done things that were kind of on the thriller level, things that were very dramatic. So we've had drama.
Yeah, this is the first one. It's pure horror. Yeah,
pure horror, and that's the brilliant part of this show to me, is that it is so unpredictable. You don't know where it's going.
Yeah,
because I was looking at this and I was laughing the whole time, and I was thinking, okay, this is this is a comedy. This is it's so weird, but I'm laughing at it. Then we get to that point where Darius walks into that dark closet, and Teddy Perkins shuts the door on him right there, and I'm like, okay, now we get into some kind of creepy shit.
I was like, somebody's about to die.
Yeah, I was like, I thought we were doing some comedy, man. I thought we were laughing. What the fuck is going on?
No, I got that feeling the second he walked through the front door. I was like, he's like, hello. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, when he walked in.
It's got that same thing that Get Out does, where as a viewer watching from afar, you're like, oh, this is a scary situation. But just you imagine if you're right in it, there's nothing overtly scary enough to warrant you taking off running.
It's an amazing episode. It's so good that you're watching this at home and you turn to the black person in the movie theater. Don't go in there!
What are you doing?
My neighbor came over. Go where?
Are you okay?
There, goddamn it, there.
Well, it's fun to watch because of how he reacts to things, but he doesn't seem like he's not stupid. So he's not that person who you're like, man, how do you not see this? He's like, yeah, this is weird, but I want to get this thing. Yeah. It's just weird right now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
And you look at it, you cannot help but see Lakeith, what's his name?
Stansfield.
You cannot help but see him as the same character from Get Out. You're thinking like, you were in Get Out and did not learn to get out?
Get out! Yo, chill, man. Get out! Chill, man. Chill.
You almost see him as an extension of that guy.
Run, Darius, run!
It's like, see, this is how your black ass gets in trouble. Just walking in the closets with people.
Yeah, and again, it did something that we talk about at the beginning, that Atlanta does a bunch. At the beginning of the episode, you're cracking up laughing. Like, he comes out with a hat that said, like, Southern made in the Confederate flag, and he etched it out to say, you mad? You're like, all right, this is funny. And then it gets to this, you're like, what's going on?
This goes down to Hitchcock levels.
Yeah.
Of direction and writing, because it does something that, and I know I sound pretentious. Anytime somebody brings up Hitchcock, you're in pretentious, you in pretentious land right now. But just hear me out, because Hitchcock in his movies used to love to do things where he would throw, his MacGuffin, he would throw people off, making them think it's going to be about a totally different film.
Right.
Some chick is driving away with a bag of money. Oh, we're doing a caper film right here.
Right.
All of a sudden, she's in a hotel with a crazy motherfucker getting stabbed in a shower.
Well.
Yeah, and it's the same thing here. This started out, we thought this was going to be a show doing commentary on Trump politics, or racial tensions in America, where he goes and he gets that hat at the moving place, a U-Haul. And Southern made, he marks it out and says, you mad? And the way that woman was looking at him, the white woman, and you're thinking like, okay, we're going to start talking about some racial issues.
They're going to hunt him down. You better drive fast, Darius.
Yeah, but that was not the case, man. Now in the episode, he puts on that hat, he goes to his house, and when he goes to Teddy Perkins' house, and we'll talk about who Teddy Perkins is as we get into this description, I thought that he was going to the house of a white dude, he's going to wear that hat, and they were going to start having some conversation about this. No, we're watching Atlanta. It's not that straightforward. If we've all seen this episode, then we know that when he gets to this house, Teddy Perkins ends up being this guy, the brother of a famous musician, Benny Hope. The dude, Benny Hope, the brother, who's this guy that we don't see because that person has a skin condition where he cannot go out into the sun. Now, as we see things with Benny in the show, the show starts to get creepier because we see pictures of Benny, and we want to know who Benny is, and we're already kind of starting to feel weird about these really creepy pictures that are popping up, and at the same time, we are seeing this weird behavior by Teddy Perkins himself. You know, him just doing, it's almost like he's doing things in front of Darius on purpose to make him feel uneasy, to make him feel uncomfortable. Like that scene, he opens up that ostrich age.
Yeah.
Oh, we call it an owl's casket.
It's like, what the hell?
Yo, what the hell, man?
Yeah, it's like, how do you not see that this is gross?
Yeah, and he's digging at it too.
I think, and this was, I think it's so smart about the show is like, maybe it was a commentary on like wealth, like when people do things like that, it's saying, oh, they're eccentric, they're not strange.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah. And before the show's over with, I mean, it just, we go from laughing to feeling kind of like, okay, I don't know if I feel comfortable with this, to full-blown horror film nightmare mode. Being stuck in this crazy, creepy house with these things that keep getting weirder and weirder.
Well, it's also that, I mean, like I said, it starts out just kind of creepy before it gets scary, but it's also that runaround where there's moments when it feels like, all right, that was fucked up, but I'm about to leave. Oh no, you're not.
Yeah.
It's this little thing like, oh, I can't move my car. Now I have to go back in there.
It gets creepy because you see that this weird little dude is doing things to intentionally keep him there.
But acting like he's not.
But
Yeah. Oh no, I put my car behind your back. Like, oh shit.
I'll move it. Yeah, when?
You take the elevator down this way. They're like, oh no.
It's funny because as creepy as it was, when they got to the point when they started busting on Sammy Sosa, I laughed out loud at work.
Oh yeah.
I thought I wasn't gonna be able to stop laughing.
But that's one of the things in the show that makes you laugh so hard, man. Because they are still in the show. They are still keeping moments. Let's see if I can go find some. There are moments here where they are still trying to keep the comedy going on, and that's cool because just like we Get Out, they had those moments where we had the best friend, who we were the best friends saying, "Nigga, leave."
Yeah.
You know?
Well, no, yeah, like they had that moment in the drive-through when they were cracking the Sammy Sosa jokes, and then he had like another one what you send to your friends all the time you ain't heard in a while, like, you dead yet? Yeah. You're just like, yeah, I've done that. Everybody in here can say that. You dead yet?
I've never done that.
Oh, I've done that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I've done that too, man. When you went like I've done it where I knew a dude was dating this crazy chick. You know, he's like, hey man, I'm going out with this crazy chick. Like, hey man, you dead yet?
Yeah.
Fucking with him with text, and and they have that moment where it gets creepy. You still don't know what level it's going to, but then right when you think it's getting weirder, they bring in the comedy with Paperboy, and his cousin that moved in with him, and they're cracking jokes on him, and we are those people.
How would anyone know you went over to Greg's?
I tell him.
Paperboy!
I mean, the dude is obviously a weirdo, man. Look, let's just play along with it, get the piano, and get the hell up out.
You know, we are that dude, and we drop our guard and we're laughing for a moment, then it picks back up, and when it really hits to the real horrific levels, then that's when this episode is effective. Now, the reason why I'm coming in and I'm praising this so much and building it up, because it is an amazing episode. It's an amazing 30 minutes of television, period. Donald Glover continues to amaze me, man. I hate that motherfucker.
Man, me too.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I'm such a Donald Glover stan, but I was like, you got all the talent. Let us have some.
I saw this and I didn't want it to be him because I said that's just another level of talent that this motherfucker has that I don't want him to have.
Because the structure of the face is so different. But listening to the voice, I was like, yeah, that's him.
See, the voice is what threw me off.
Oh, really?
Because the reason why I got it because I said, okay, it's that little body with that big ass head on there. You know, that's how I knew. But it was that voice that got me, and the other thing that got me is like it was the way he was playing Teddy Perkins. Teddy Perkins has, again, all these weird mannerisms, and I thought that Donald Glover, he captured that amazingly.
I'll bring a guy Fiji in Evian. Mix it with some Poland Springs. Maybe a Voss.
Okay.
Oh, I'll see you downstairs.
Now he's back to being creepy.
It's funny because that's the scene where I knew it was his voice.
You want to know how I kind of knew, and it's going to sound funny because of his gums.
Oh, okay.
When he started talking and he saw his teeth, I know he's got a certain tooth structure that you can tell.
And it sounds like his most recent album, "Awaken My Love." It sounds like a lot of that high pitched stuff. I was like, wait, that's okay. I've heard that voice before, and it was in that album.
Yeah, Yeah.
It's just small things in here that really add to the whole suspense, and what I think is great about the show is like this guy just said, "Bring me bottled water," and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna take all these different bottles and mix them together." It's like, so wait, then my water's not bottled anymore. What are you doing? Like, I'm gonna mix Boiling Springs and Voss with some Evian. Yeah, like what are you doing? And then he brings him a glass later. You're like, what the fuck?
The question that I have to bring up to you guys, you might have heard it already. Now, when we say that this looks so familiar to people out there, immediately when people saw Teddy Perkins, they said, "Oh, we're doing a parody of Michael Jackson."
Sure.
And this is me. This is not a reflection of my opinion at all. But is this offensive? I mean, because yes, this is scary, and maybe Michael Jackson was scary to some people. But is it cool taking Michael Jackson, who was deceased, who went through a lot of pain in his life, pain that they actually addressed on the show, abuse that they actually addressed on the show?
It's because of him we have all of this.
So you saying your dad used to beat you so you'd be good at piano?
To be good at life.
Is it disrespectful or offensive in a way to take advantage of a deceased person's pain like this?
I don't see it as taking advantage of it. I mean, watching this, I got the idea, the whole inspiration was thinking about what if I were to stumble upon Michael Jackson if he was still alive, and then just working all that through how that would go. But the fact that they do address, the beatings, how he grew up and all that, I think that's actually more respectful.
They are playing it up to a horror level. I'm not saying I feel that way, because I do think that these are things that they address that a lot of people were just kind of thinking, you want to say.
Yeah, because it also humanizes his character in such a way where you feel for him. It makes you not just immediately think he's a weirdo, I gotta run. There's a certain bit of like, oh man, he's going through some shit.
Got Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
Because they actually call him a ghoul.
Yeah.
But
that's something that they were smart enough to address. There's like, I feel like this guy is doing this because he made himself look this way.
Yeah.
So you're like, all right, you are, making some commentary on what Michael Jackson was going through, but you're not treating it in a way where it's, oh, let's just laugh at the freak.
Yeah, and I kind of feel the same way. I understand where people are coming from. You took Michael Jackson, a man who had so much pain in his life to where it mentally scarred him as well as physically. And you were making pretty much a horror movie out of it, which some people say, well, shit, man, his life was a horror movie enough when you get right down to it. But I don't really feel that way per se, but I understand. It made for a horror mini movie where the scary things in there, the killers, the monsters, whatever you want to call them, it made them sympathetic.
Yeah.
It was very emotional, man. When it got
and tragic.
When it got down to the most horrific part, that was the most emotional part in here.
Yeah.
Which I thought is something that's very hard to pull off, especially when you have horror movies.
Yeah, this show, I mean, this episode specifically, you just run the gamut of emotions because you're laughing, at the end you're crying, you're horrified, you're feeling compassion for certain people, you're apprehensive to others, you're just running through everything, and it hits every mark that it's going for.
It was funny because comedy had us, man. Comedy was like entertaining us, and then right when we were in it 100%, comedy tapped out with tragedy.
Like, God damn it.
Comedy went to lock the doors.
Yeah. Comedy let horror in, lock the door. Open up! Come on! What theories have you gotten as to what was really happening?
I've gotten the straightforward one where there was a Benny and then he had a very spiteful brother. And then what happens. There's also the theory that Benny is the dad that abused him. And then there's theories where Teddy Perkins was actually Benny, and then the guy that was in the basement was like his actual brother, but somebody else. It's weird. Like, it's a whole bunch of theories, but like every single one of them, you can't really be like, no, that's not right.
Yeah. I heard a couple. The one where there's one that says that Teddy Perkins is actually the father, and because in the episode he's constantly defending, the fathers that did abuse. He's talking about how that the children, they don't know what their fathers are really doing, making them great, not just for talent, but for life. So a lot of people think that he's still, for some reason, beating his son. Because there's a part where you go in and you see blood is on the keyboard. And they're thinking, okay, he's still whooping his son's ass and doing that. Why he wants to kill him, I don't know. I think that there's a flaw in that theory. And the flaw would be that later on in the episode, you see a film where we are to assume that it's Benny on the piano and his father is beating him. And look, the dad, you see his dad's big.
Yeah.
His dad like Idris Elba or something right there.
Right.
And when we see Teddy Perkins is short.
Yeah, and the age thing too, because there's a picture where you see Benny Hope was supposed to be in a picture with I think Chuck Berry, I believe, and that was in black and white. So like his dad would be like 120 something years old.
And that's the other thing.
Although with plastic surgery.
But you know what?
He wouldn't be moving around like that, dog.
No, you're right.
He wouldn't be like jumping and doing all this other crazy shit that Teddy was doing.
Well, that's why some people are saying that. Let me see if I can find it here. Some people are saying that maybe that's why it's the father, because the father probably would be old enough to be in a wheelchair.
Yeah,
and and Teddy is Benny, and he's just getting revenge on his father and torturing him.
But the guy in the wheelchair he's I mean, even though he's incapacitated, he's kind of spry as well. He doesn't move like an old man.
But that is true. That is true. The only reason why I think that there was a shot that revealed something to say that Teddy Perkins was Benny Hope, and I think it was a hint to the audience. They got that one scene where, if you've seen the episode, then and that's why you're listening. Then you've seen Teddy pull out that rifle on Darius, and he's getting another. What you call it? What monologue? Yeah, he's monologuing again, like villains do. And there's that one shot where they got that shot composition where you see the profile of Teddy Perkins with the young Benny Hope.
Yeah.
In that film, and I'm thinking, all right, you know what? That's probably a hint, which is why I think that he's probably abusing his dad. Especially when we see that picture of that statue of his dad, and it's not really his dad there.
Well, see, I would think that, but you had that moment where he walked upstairs and there was blood on the piano. So it was like, all right, is Teddy or Benny? Is he bleeding on the piano while he's playing it, or is Benny actually up in the room and he was beating his Benny while he was playing?
I don't know, but later on in the episode, and let me see if I can find a shot right here. Later on in the episode, there we go. You see that whoever's in that wheelchair, their shirt is covered in blood. And it's not,
that's right.
And it's not blood from Teddy Perkins getting shot. It's blood from something that happened earlier. Some kind of injury. He's been, something happened to him. He's been, somebody inflicted some violence on him. So, I think that's where the blood came from. That Teddy had finished torturing this dude, and he came up there and started playing piano, and there was some blood on the piano.
Well, then that raises the question: is like, why are you torturing him and not just kill him? Because like the whole plot of it is like, I'm gonna kill my brother to get this, and then like he does, like, why not just kill him if nobody knows he's down here?
I think he tortured him into a point where he's like, you know what, I'm tired of torturing you. I just want to kill you. I want you out of my life, and there's no more fun here. And I'm gonna bring somebody in to who will be the fall guy. The episode does get to a point where it turns it caught me off guard.
It does, because like, they're not gonna. Whoa,
I know.
This is something where when I was watching this, man, I thought this. I didn't think that we this show has been many things, but I never thought it would get graphically horror style violent like it did here. And that's what happens, man. We get this thing where the brother, whatever that thing is in the basement, comes out and gets the rifle and kills his brother. And I mean, I'm talking about with tons of blood.
Hey, Benny, what are you doing? Whoa. Wait.
I was like, yeah, exactly. We got people on the couch over there like woke up. They're like, what the fuck?
And this is right after a beautiful speech by Darius.
Yeah, no, no. You know what? You think is way too strong, but then that's because you're in shock.
Yeah.
You looking like this dude right here. But once you soak it all in and realize that we have been steeped in this mood the whole time, which made it work. I mean,
there's only one way this could have ended.
Man, we have really.
I mean, two ways, and I figured that they were going to go with the other one.
And I thought that this was going to go so crazy because this show is so unpredictable. I said, yeah, there could be a chance that they would kill Darius.
Yeah.
At the very, that shot at the very end where, his face, at first, I thought it was kind of like, God damn, I really wanted that piano. But, it's like, he's shook, man.
Yeah.
It's a very tragic ending, man. That's that Stevie Wonder song is playing. You got that expression, evil. Then you got that expression on his face, and it's you. At first, I thought it was a downer, but the creativity just made me feel so uplifted in this, man.
Yeah.
And as I said, the biggest tragedy of all at the end of it, never got that piano.
No. FBI took that out as evidence.
They were carrying it out like that.
Like, God damn, just give it to the man.
Yeah, people. I'm sure that we'll get some more great episodes from this, but this was probably the best episode I saw. Watch the show, man. Watch it. It is a breakthrough show. I didn't know what to expect from this, and it took me a while to get adjusted. Like, I like this, but I really don't know what I'm supposed to grasp onto here. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, don't grasp on anything.
Just let it flow over you.
Yeah, just go with it. Just go with it.